A very warm good evening to the distinguished guests, practitioners, speakers, exhibitors, and one and all gathered here today for the 3rd International Ayush Conference and Exhibition 2026. After a long day of plenaries, seminar, we now transition to a segment that many of us have been looking forward to. We are truly graced to have with us Brahma Rishi Dr. Mohanji for this session. Brahma Rishi Dr. Mohanji is a global humanitarian, philanthropist, and a recognized spiritual leader from India. He has dedicated his life to serving the world with a single purpose, raising human awareness from selfishness to selflessness, making the transition from humankind to kind humans by awakening the kindness in the hearts of people. Rooted in the principles of Raja Yoga, Mohanji makes timeless spiritual wisdom relevant for modern life through practical methods of self-connection. His core teaching is simply be you, to understand, accept, and express one's uniqueness and authenticity, responsibility, and compassion. He firmly believes that humanity is the best religion and that the best spiritual practice is ahimsa in thoughts, words, and actions. Mohanji Foundation, Care, and ACT Foundation for Selfless Service Activities in 2003 and founded Mohanji Foundation in 2010 to support his spiritual mission of spreading Raja Yoga across the world. Care is registered in India and has activities across 23 states. ACT Foundation has its head office in London, UK, and is active in 31 countries. Mohanji Foundation has its headquarters in Switzerland and is registered in 20 countries, which is present in around 90 countries through the global network of platform communities and initiatives dedicated to service and inner transformation. He has established ashrams and centers in America, Australia, Scotland, Slovenia, Serbia, Croatia, and South Africa, with more centers taking shape. The first ever Hindu temples in Slovenia, Serbia, and Croatia have been established under his guidance. He is currently building his ashram in Ganeshpuri on the banks of the Tansa River near Mumbai and is also building a Guruvayurappan temple in Vrindavan. Mohanji also founded the World Tribal Alliance, a global non-profit organization headquartered in London, created to unite indigenous elders worldwide with a vision to preserve nature and culture and rejuvenate the human connection with nature. He serves as an advisor to organizations including the Puri Jagannath Temple, Trust of London, and Sri Guruvayurappan Trust of London, among others. His humanitarian impact has been recognized internationally. He has received awards from multiple organizations, including recognitions from BRICS for humanitarian effort. Frisco City in Dallas, USA, honored him by declaring April 16th as Mohanji Day. He was also conferred an honorary doctorate by the Pacific University, Udaipur, India, in recognition of his global humanitarian work. Now, with great honor, may I now welcome Brahma Rishi Dr. Mohanji to grace the stage and lead us through the session, Self-Connection, the Ultimate Connection. And to accompany him onto stage, may I invite Sri Nanda Kumar, Vijnana Bharati, National Board Member. Before we move on to the session for the evening, we have a couple of announcements. It is a pleasure to announce the upcoming release of Guru Pada Samarpan, which is a music album which is dedicated to Mohanji. It is written in the sacred language of Sanskrit by Anand Nair, Dubai, and composed by Uday Kumar Anchal. This track features the voice of Ajit Pillai. This 5-minute devotional journey will be released globally on the 23rd at Ganeshpuri on the day of Mohanji's birthday. We invite you all to look forward to the spiritual masterpiece. So now may I invite Mr. Anand Nair and Ajit Pillai to release the first copy by handing it over to Mohanji with his blessings. Please give a big round of applause, please. Now we move on to a book launch. It is a true honor to introduce a landmark publication, The Divine Footprints on Arabian Sands. This book is a profound collection of real-life stories documenting grace and transformation right here in the Middle East. It offers a unique, intimate insight into the lives of people who have been deeply inspired and transformed by Mohanji. Through this heartfelt sharings, readers get a true glimpse into the phenomena that is Mohanji, a guide from our current times who spreads unconditional love, perfectly blended with spiritual wisdom and grounded in practicality. We invite you to discover these footprints and life-changing journey that represents, and I invite Sajid Menon, who is the Mohanji Middle East Council President, to provide the first copy and have this book launched. So without much delay, we are now eager to begin this auspicious session on self-connection, the ultimate connection. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to all of you. It's really a privilege to be here in this auspicious function and amongst all of you. My job today is to talk to you about self-connection. But before that, one of the reasons why I feel that we must unite more often is because the ideas that are being shared here are very important to ponder on. Not just listen and forget, but to digest them through pondering, through analyzing, doing manana, contemplation, and sharing with other people. Because we are living in a world where what people easily share are things which are not very good or auspicious. It's stories of suffering. When we open the channels of television or mobile phone or any of the media that we are used to, most of the information that comes to us are not something which will elevate you. In fact, it will give you more anxiety, fear, insecurity, and often people lose hope. You can see that happening in the habits or the habitual expressions of people in the world. The option of responding is always with us. We can respond to situation using our intellect, or we can react using our ego and mind. Mostly what we see in the world are reactions, not responses. If you make a slight shift from reaction to response, there'll be less guilt, less regrets. This option is always there. It's like a sadhana, a spiritual practice we can do every day. Respond. And often it's very important to cut off from the spurious information and stick to something which will connect and reconnect us to truth. Relevant truth. What is relevant is what makes you stable. Any other information or any information which makes you unstable are not good for us. That's like junk food. It may fill you up, your stomach is filled, but it is not healthy or it will not add to your health. So it's very important we understand what we are consuming. Now, most of the people here who have come here from different places of the world, they have ideas or some idea, or some of them are well trained or tuned to alternative medicines or medical field which are very rejuvenative by nature. And I'm not proficient to talk to you about that subject because I'm not a doctor nor a practitioner. But when we are talking about self-connection, one word you should remember is feeling. Hunger is a feeling. Thirst is a feeling. When you feel sleepy, body is telling you it's time to take rest. So, if you just follow your feelings, your health is pretty much intact because the body talks to you. Now, most of the treatments of the world are connected to the body. But I always believe that mind has a big role to play in our well being. Or, in other words, mind is the main thing we must address. What you perceive, that you become. Your life is as per your perception, how you see, how you perceive, how you think. That tells how you are. That's exactly how you will have your future, your experiences, or how you get life from this world. It's all connected to perception. So, perception is a very, very important thing you must understand. And perception is a collection of impressions. We perceive as per what we have collected. Where are you collecting them from? Life. From life, we pick up experiences. All of them leave impressions. A collection of those impressions becomes you. You are what you have stored. So, it's important to practice kindness, compassion, selflessness, care, love. These things are very important to practice because they are healing, they are cleaning, and they are stabilizing. If I would say one thing that's very important for you to have a good life is stability. Stability comes when you have approached life or you are looking at life, you are perceiving life as with the clear conviction that this is what I am or this is how I should be. This is where I am going and this is what I want to experience out of this life. Remember one thing very clearly. Two boundaries are set. We have no control. Birth and death. At one point in time, some point in time, you are born, and at another point in time, you will die. In between birth and death, we have about 30,000 days. That's the visa period for a body. About 30,000 days. Not more. You don't have a lot of time here. So we're talking about a time which is between birth and death, which are unchangeable and non-extendable visa. And within this time, what are you trying to gain or earn from this life? And please remember, you have only one thing you get from this life. This is experience. You earn nothing else from here. You may have wealth, position, possessions, relations. All these things are only giving you experience. So bottom line is, your only earning of a lifetime are experiences. And your only saving of a lifetime are memories. And these memories are collected from impressions which you have experienced. So, impressions are very important. Today we are living in more of an unconscious world. And when I say unconscious, it's like we are flowing and going in a particular way where we are not really conscious about how it's happening. Connection with the world is different because our connection with the world is through our mobile phone. We don't have a direct connection. We lack eye contact. We don't talk to people. We don't connect to eyes. We don't recognize people. All these things are very important to remember. Self-connection. Now, I touched upon the subject of mind. There is a case study. I'm sure many of you, especially the doctors and medical professionals, would have seen that. A man, a businessman, had a tumor in his brain. And he's from Bombay. Doctors said 2 more weeks to live because it was spreading rapidly. So because he's rich, his relatives asked, is there any way we can sort this out? So the doctor said, there is nothing much you can do, but there is one hospital and a particular set of doctors in that hospital in America who could possibly help. Not sure, but could try. So they sent the medical report to them, and the hospital said, "Come over, we will have a look." He went there, he was taken there, and they checked the brain, and they found that nothing you can do. But they opened the head and to see what's going on, and they realized nothing much you can do. So they closed it and told him, "Okay, we have done whatever we could, now come back after 3 months." And they were very sure he will not come back because his life will end in 2 weeks. The doctors knew nothing much you can do because this tumor is spreading so rapidly. And this man came back after 3 months. So the doctors were surprised. How did you come back? I mean, how did this happen? Then they said, they checked and they did some tests and stuff, and they said, "You're good. Go back and come back after 6 months." And they were very sure he will not come back because it is incurable. But he came back after 6 months. And when they checked, the tumor has stopped growing. And this became a case study. You can search the internet and you will find it. And next time they said, "Come, now you're 9 months you have served, so you come back later, another 6 months later." When he came back, they were really surprised that he's surviving. But that time, this doctor who was treating him was explaining this phenomenon to his students, which this guy overheard. He said, "I'm not treating him. I'm doing nothing. He is surviving on his own. And there is no cure. He can't be cured. He is actually surviving only because of some miracle." He heard that. Next week he died. So what kept him alive? Belief, faith. You see, mind is at work. So mind has to be taken into consideration very seriously. We are definitely not, the natural sciences are not always symptom oriented, but the mind aspect, if it is taken care of very well, I think health will be very good. Most people are only suffering because they don't believe that they can be cured or they can survive. This is one of the things which I think must be considered very seriously. Now, as the person who introduced me said, we brought together a group of indigenous people, and some of you were there in Cape Town with me during that time. We brought the original indigenous people who are still living indigenous to Cape Town. The idea was to unite the wisdom keepers of the world. So we brought people from east, west, and north to the south. The south, the tip, Cape Town, is probably the end of the civilization, because beyond that is Antarctica. There's no civilization there, or human beings there. So the tribes of the Africa, Cape Town, or the African tribes came together. We brought people from New Zealand, the Maori tribes, that is from the east. Then we brought from Hawaii, Alaska, and Amazon forest, Peruvian jungles, Colombian jungles. And from the north, the Sami tribes from Norway, Sweden, Russia belt. All of them came to Cape Town. And of course supported by the government of South Africa. And they were very, very, very supportive. We created a kind of energy which I had explained to them very clearly. Let us not discuss about the atrocities happened in the past. Most every indigenous or every tribe has experienced extreme atrocities in the hands of invaders or the local people or whatever, whichever, in different levels. So I said, let's not talk about it. Let's talk about how can we create a united nations of the indigenous and bring this wisdom to the world, because the world needs it. It's an alternative thought process. This is something which can change the world, which can bring the thought process or make the thought processes different. And there are very powerful masters. One of those masters, He speaks to trees. You give any plant to him, he'll look at the plant and talk to him, and he'll tell us what that plant contains. And you do a lab test, it'll be correct. So we asked him, how do you know? So he said, the plant takes a human body and comes to me and talks to me. We can't see it. But the accuracy is uncanny. Great accuracy. These kind of people exist. But they are not in public because they are scared, because they are exploited. So now we intend to, now that the north, south, east, west has been united, we intend to bring more and more regions into it. And only the original wisdom keepers, because the world needs that wisdom. And their connection or their strength or their claim for fame is their connection with the earth. Earth talks. Earth tells you. Everything you want to know or everything you want to know about yourself, earth can give you, tell you, because you belong to the earth. As I said before, we are here only for about 30,000 days. If we live about 80 years or maybe 35,000 if you're very lucky. But effective years, years where you don't need anybody's support, are not so many. 40 years, 50 years, we are independent, we don't need help, we don't need support. As we grow older, we don't know, we may need support. So effective years, how are we using them here? This is very important. So when I came to this function, what impressed me, and thanks to Chandrasekhar ji for insisting on my arrival here, because of him I came here. And this union is very important, and this should be taken to every part of the world, I felt. And why this should happen is because instead of suppressing the symptoms, you should address the possibilities. In every situation, you will know that there is some way to come out of it. Why are we not understanding them or recognizing them? Because we are not looking at the right place. While most of the people connected to earth, they know where to look, so they will find. This is as simple as that. And these people exist, and this wealth of knowledge also exists. A lot we have lost because we have gone through various times and spaces and various mindsets. So many are lost, but still don't have to despair, right? Now coming to self-connection. That's what I teach in the world. That's probably why I have most following in youth, because self-connection, connection with yourself, is the most meaningful connection. We connect with the world, we connect with materials of the world, people of the world, and we live in the world of relations, positions, possessions, and we think that's it. That's not it. They are all addendums, they are all additions. What is real is you, and you. So, being yourself, we have been ourselves when we were young, as a child, totally ourselves, completely unattached to what others think about us. But as we decided to grow older, I use the word decided because we never grow old, we are all children, because it's proven that in any given situation, a situation is always reverted back to a time when similar situation happened. So that means we are not fresh. We are not thinking fresh. Always is that if some trauma happened at the age 10, even if a similar situation happens in age 60, you will refer back to 10. And you'll bring back that emotion and react with that intensity, because this memory always comes and takes over. So self-connection is very vital for us to be stable. And that connection can only happen through self-acceptance. We should stop comparing. We should stop competing, imitating, and just be ourselves totally. What's the advantage of being that? Your authenticity increases. If you don't have to pretend, if you don't have to compare, if you don't have to compete, how much of time you save? Because most of our life, we express insecurity because we have a problem of pleasing people and making sure that they appreciate you. They may appreciate you, they may not appreciate you. They may like you, they may dislike you. What have we got to do with it? How can we change it? We can't. So, what is the best thing to do then? Live your life as you are. And that authenticity will get more and more support. You know, that also talks about conformity. Conformity is a myth. People, when I go to some places, I don't wear these clothes. When I come to such functions, I do wear. So one person told me, Mohanji, why don't you conform to one set of dress? I said, that's boring for me and boring for others. And why should I be insecure about what I dress up as or what I wear? You wear what you like to wear as per the occasion or as per the situation or as per that day's mood. Similarly, every situation, whatever you go through, ask yourself, am I compromising, am I comparing, or am I trying to prove something to somebody who may not even care? And they may not even know that you're trying to prove to them. Same is anger. Anger burns you more than other people because anger is something like you started a fire inside you. Other person may understand or may not understand. But we do feel anger, jealousy, hatred. All those things burns you more than the world outside. But we don't feel it. We don't think like that. Because we don't think like that, we are habitually doing that. And all these are disconnecting you from yourself. Self-connection. So self-connection stabilizes you and it gives you momentum. Also, it gives you completion, contentment. What is the net result from this world? As I said, our only earning from this life are experiences. And our only saving are memories. And our only spending are what we are to this world. That means we are only expressing whatever we are to this world. And that's what people recognize us with. People know us as per our projection. But when you evolve spiritually, spiritual evolution means simply from the gross aspect, you start feeling the energy which runs your show. There is an energy inside which runs your show, and that's what we call as life. And the absence of that energy is what we call as death. So, when you are alive, there is an element of presence in this world. And that presence is what we get addicted to, mostly. We get addicted to this presence. So me versus my people, my materials, my position, my possession, we forget that we brought nothing to earth, nor we take anything from here. We can't take anything from here. Empty-handed we came, empty-handed we leave. The last wishes of Alexander of Macedonia, I don't like to call him great, but this particular last wish can actually be considered as great. He had 3 wishes. I'm sure you know this. If you know this, pretend as if you don't know. So I can tell. The last wishes were, he said, my coffin should be carried by doctors. Because he wanted to prove to the world, no doctors could save him at the time of death. He died. Next was all that he collected a lot of wealth. He said, distribute it to the people, to the poor people. Give it all away because it's useless for me when I'm dying. Third thing he said was, keep my hands outside the coffin so that let the world see I carried nothing from here. So these are very important. That made him great. Not that the conquest and all the nonsense he did in his life. That's not greatness. That's what one of the saints told him. One of the monks told him from India, you have conquered nothing. If you do not conquer your mind, you have conquered nothing. The only conquest that is worth it is conquering your mind. If mind is uncontrollable, insatiable, you have lost it. Means you are just like another person on earth who needs more and more from earth, and it is never ending. So we all are chasing things. We are trying to prove to people who we are, and we are trying to prove to people we are better than the other. All these drama, who's creating? Not the other people, don't blame them. It's us, our projection to the world. This is creating this issue. But when the mind becomes your servant, you stop projecting. That's a big transition. When you move from the gross physical projection level to that of more subtle energy level, you stop projecting. Instead, like a mirror, you start reflecting. So when a person comes in front of you, you become the frequency of that person. When that person goes away, you become empty. All the great masters who have found everything or anything operated from that level of reflection, number one. Secondly, most of the time, what are we talking about in this world? Have you observed? We are talking about things we collected from here, information we have picked up from here, and this we have owned. We think it's ours. It's not ours. We got it from books, from teachers, from religion, from any parents or anybody, or we picked it, collected from the world. This is what we consider as our knowledge, our information. It's not yours. These are information that has come to you, and when you start doing manana or processing it, it becomes knowledge. And when you experience it, it becomes wisdom. So information per se have no value. It's just an information. But when you process that information, it becomes knowledge. And when that knowledge is experienced, it becomes wisdom. So this process must happen. And thousands of information, very less knowledge, still less becomes wisdom. In many days, often there'll be nothing which will transform as wisdom. When it becomes wisdom, it helps your transformation. These are the pearls of life. This wisdom that you pick up, that becomes you, and that becomes your signature on earth. And the wisdom that you picked up is very important. We don't have time for it. Today, how much attention? What's our attention span? 8 seconds. Twitter time. Attention. Twitter has become X, so it's infinite. No attention. 8 seconds. In 8 seconds, if you cannot convey something, people won't listen to you. So that means we are not at all listening. Forget about understanding. Forget about experiencing. This is one aspect. So most of the time, we are operating in two levels of intellect, buddhi, intellect. One is the intellect which processes knowledge from outside. As I said earlier, we pick it up from teachers, we pick it up from gurus, religion, whatever, we pick it up. And then we think it's ours and we keep it. That's processed by Shruddha Buddhi. Shruddha Buddhi means acquired knowledge and its processor. The intellect that processes acquired knowledge. Then some of it gets transferred to logical mind, logical intellect. That is Yukta Buddhi. Yukta means logical aspect. It processes and makes things, that's yours. That which you have processed from the received information becomes your contribution. And then, how are these great masters who created many things, including Patanjali, Yoga Sutras, Charaka, Shushruta, all these great masters who were trendsetters, who were game changers, which level did they operate? Rhythm, Bhara, Buddhi, cosmic awareness. That is awareness. Again, please remember, we have capacity for that. That's when I'm talking about self-connection. Your potential is multi-dimensional. But we are so addicted to one dimension called this name, the positions, the presence, the projection. We are so addicted to it. So we don't even use the chance to be multi-dimensional. So how can you be multi-dimensional? How do you know, or how the astronomy, astrology, so many Nadi Shastras, we have so many things. Where have they come from? The great masters, our heritage of Bharat, amazing heritage. Where has it come from? Cosmic awareness or larger awareness. Awareness, basically the path is awareness. Not knowing, not believing. It's knowing, and through knowing, you are automatically reaching a stage. We are reaching a stage where we become aware of the whole vital statistics of anything. So you put your mind to that thing, and then you penetrate into that aspect. And like this master whom I met during this World Tribal Alliance program, he said that the plant talks to me and tells me what it contains. Like that, when you look at something, you know exactly what that thing contains. And that becomes awareness. You don't have to work on it. You don't have to use all those information, but it's very important to know. It's very important so that you know. You don't have to believe what somebody says. And I always say, don't just believe what others say, because your reality is different. You should know, so you don't have to believe. So we don't have much time. Another 5 minutes I have to close. Is there anything you want to ask me? I can take probably one question or two maybe, depending on the velocity of your question. Yes, please. Would you like to come up here, or I don't know how the microphone works? Yeah, come up here. I'll give you this mic. That's coming.
Namaste, Guruji. So I just wanted to ask that there is always this line between, I have seen your classes before. So you say we should not control anything. So, but our mind always wants to do something or the other. So I want to know where to put that line. For example, I am a vegetarian, but some days I feel to have non-veg sometimes because I have been previously non-veg. So I'm confused because you told you should not control, then we are suppressing that emotion. So what is that line between that suppressing emotion or allowing our mind to do whatever it wants? It applies to all situations. So I just wanted to clarify on that.
Yeah, that question I have actually touched upon just a bit earlier. You look at your stability. If I do this, is it going to give me more stability or more regrets? So whatever you do, that's why it's a response. You have to respond to each situation instead of reacting. So, okay, I must have this food today. Consume it with full awareness. So next time you don't need it because you already done it. But if you suppress it, it will definitely be on top of your mind. Whatever we suppress never leaves. It's only postponement. Any desire, because of whatever reason we suppress, that stays. And that automatically asks you for its expression at some point in time. So ideally, a regulated expression is better than suppression.
So it becomes a repeated pattern, then every time I'm listening to mind every time. So I'm...
Yeah, sometimes you're born for certain things which you can't avoid.
Not about the food, but whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
It becomes a repetitive pattern. This time, okay, I'm allowing myself to do. But in my mind, I know it's not good. Next time I'm allowing, so I'm thinking...
No, don't censor it. Don't analyze. See, it's a feeling. I must have a tea now. Yeah? And I'm having the tea. So at that point in time, it's done. And another time you want a tea, because if your attention was full while you're doing that, the repetition, it's not habitual. Normally, when we are unconscious, all that we do is habitual, like smoking or any addiction. It's habitual. When you open your eyes, your hand goes towards your mobile phone. Habitual. Not that you can change the world with that mobile phone at that point in time. But many things in life are unconscious and habitual. That will stop. When that stops, because you are fully aware, when you replace that habitual unconscious mode to being aware, many things change in life. Then whatever you do is for completion. That completion is essential because you took birth for it. Since you have a body, you have a space, you have a time to do these things, might as well complete what you came for. And I don't look at anything as good or bad because it's individualistic. I'm nobody to say something is right, something is wrong. Every individual, it's an individual right, individual wrong. For me, I look at it this way. When an activity or a thought or a word leaves regret and guilt, which is very heavy, that's wrong because we are suffering. Anger, I always said one thing, avoid violence. Why? Because violence hurts you more than the other person. Likewise, violence in thoughts, expressions, actions, it violates you more than the world. Similar to intoxication, your activity is shifted to unconscious, useless. Because you are not conscious, you don't know what you experienced. So experience fully so that you have clarity of experience, the memory, the stored data are clear and retrievable, like Sherlock Holmes said when Watson asked him, "How do you have such a great intelligence?" He said, "That's very simple, elementary, Watson. It's because I do not store junk." Whatever he has stored in his mind is retrievable. How can you retrieve things when you have not cluttered your space? This simple it is. So when you talk, when you move, when you do, see, especially in today's time, two things are very essential: clarity and brevity. You have to be very clear, you have to be very brief, because people's attention level are less. Same with habits. Most of the habits are not giving you satisfaction, that is only contributing to your comfort zone. So if you are brave enough to destroy your comfort zone and go with what is essential, life changes. That's simple. So they are not stopping anything, you're not suppressing anything, but at the same time, you are not binding yourself to anything. You remain unbound. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
That way you can rewrite your future.
Thank you. Good.
How much time we have? Done. Thank you very much. Thanks to the organizers. You've done a great job, all of you. And thanks to all the people who attended this. And I wish you great awakening from this program. And I hope to see you again soon, sometime. Remember one thing very clearly. The world is changing very rapidly. Systems are changing, thoughts are changing, processes are changing. And before you realize, the whole energy patterns are changing in the world. You have something to do here. You matter. Your life matters, your expressions matter, and also your contribution, your relevance matter. Show it through your stability, through your equanimity, courage, strength, vision, selflessness, and response pattern. You don't have to react to anything. And let the world be a better place through you. I wish you great success. Thank you.
Thank you, Brahmarishi, Dr. Mohanji, for those illuminating insights. You have reminded us that while we often seek solution in the world around us, the most powerful and transformative bridge we can build is the one that leads back to ourselves. And I'm sure your words on self-connection has truly set a serene and purposeful tone for this conference today. May I now invite Mr. Shashi Menonji for the vote of thanks.
Namaste and good evening to all. On behalf of Science India Forum and entire Ayush fraternity, we express our heartfelt gratitude to Mohanji of Mohanji Foundation for his deeply awakening and transformative discourse. Mohanji's words were not merely a speech, but a powerful spiritual experience that touched the every heart present here. His insight on conscious living, selfless service, and inner purification and the true essence of holistic well-being resonated profoundly with the core principles of Ayush. Thanks once again to the Ayush community and Mohanji. Namaste.
Thank you. So thanking once again all the organizers and all the seekers who has joined us here today. May we all carry the spark of the session in our daily lives. Thank you. Thank you all.